Hello, hello, and welcome to a poolside chat of actorholics. I am your host, Effie Spence. Today we are going to be talking about how to stand up for yourself as an actor. So I have given this advice a lot to people, which is unfortunate because I think actors are people who just wear their heart on their sleeve and on their head and on their heart, and their heart on their heart is everywhere, and they love and they love and they love and they love. And a lot of people take advantage of that. So how do you stand up for yourself? So there's a common denominator that you'll hear a lot of celebrities saying, that things started to really switch for them in the industry when they learned the power of the word no. It's just 2 little letters, and it can help you get out of so many situations that are just simply not worth your time. So oftentimes as actors, we are desperate for that next thing because it's, good roles are hard to come by, good jobs are hard to come by. But what I have found more often than not is that if you are a good actor, which I know you all are, and you have trust in your talent, which there are ways to build that by taking classes like we talked about, by working with people that you like, working with friends, etc. So if you have all these good cards, then you don't need to give them all away for any job. You would honestly be better off just getting a stable income from any of those side hustles and saying no to acting projects that are not going to benefit you in the long run. So I find that the people that I have boundaries with jobs that I'm not really sure about doing because maybe the drive is really long and they're not offering to pay for gas, or there's a bunch of different concessions, but I find that the jobs that are worth doing, they understand that word worth. And if you ask for things, they will grant those things or will provide really good insight into why they cannot, but we'll try to make the experience better anyway. So for example, one of my first roles ever, it was my first SAG role. I got in the union about 10 years ago, so it was kind of still in this transitionary phase between the kind of standard contracts for theatrical films and television to new media forms. And there was a really big gray area with that. So new media meaning YouTube or streaming services, etc. And there were some new media contracts that didn't have a specific pay that you had to give for actors. So I was hired for $100 for the day to do background on this Western project that was in Landers, California. So it was a really long drive, but it was just $100 flat fee. Being a desperate actress and but not just desperate, but just like excited, like, ooh, I get to be in a Western and I get to travel and it's on location and all this stuff. And it's just background. So $100 is great. And then I got there and didn't get any sort of contract when I first walked onto set. And that is a big red flag. When you are working, you are required, especially if you're in the union, to see the contract before you start work. So in this case, I did not get a contract. They said that things were running behind and it was just a stressful situation. And so just me being new to everything, I was just, okay, trust. And I get to set, I'm in costume, and I get placed, and then the director goes, "Hey, do you mind just, when the main actor comes down, do you mind just saying this line?" And oh my God, dream come true. My first SAG role ever. Like, I'm already getting bumped. Like, I know that that's a pay bump, right? And so I say, yes, of course. And I deliver my line, and I'm so proud of myself. And then it's a 12-hour day, and we haven't really seen the contracts, and then we finally get them at the end of the day. And then I say, hey, I'm new in SAG, but hi, I got a line. Like, where do I write down the pay bump? And they said, oh no, you're not getting a pay bump or credit or anything. They didn't say it like that, but basically. And this is new media, it doesn't count. So fast forward to a few weeks later, and I'm just feeling really weird about it. And I don't feel good. And this director was really mean and stressful. And my long winded story of this is to tell you that, like, yeah, I could have said no in that moment. And I probably should have, because I didn't get any money from the situation. I didn't get any contacts from it. Not to tell you to be like a difficult actor, but like, know your worth, because that's something that still has stayed with me. And it didn't open any doors. So saying no can often open the door for you to at least know what you're worth. So I found out that, like, the line makes it in the movie. It is not a new media film. It becomes distributed, and I got cheated out of probably thousands of dollars. So you have to stand. And even in that moment, I spoke to the producer, and I knew something was wrong, but they still gaslit me. So the way that you stand up for yourself in this industry is to really educate yourself on the laws, and to go to SAG meetings and be invested in knowing, like, what people are allowed to ask you to do and what people are not. And it is up to you whether you think that maybe this could open a door. I don't want to complain, but I have found it that so frequently, whenever I've been asked to do something that I'm not comfortable with and I say yes, it's just not worth it. And in the moments that I have said no, I've lost nothing from it. So another example would be, I was doing another SAG background gig, and it was another new media Effie thing. And I get to set, and it was a similar situation where they said, we might need you guys to say a few lines. And I thought, I've gone through this before. No, I would not like to do that. And so they wanted to get in an argument about it. And I just said, you know what? I think it would be best if I just left. It was the best decision ever, because it was not a good production. I knew somebody else who was on the show that gave feedback afterwards to me, and they said that it was just a shit show of a day. So trust your gut. Other ways that you can stand up for yourself as an actor, let's say in like acting classes, is that you don't have to do everything the teacher says, because oftentimes they have kind of a God complex. You don't have to do anything that I say. So just always check in with your instinct and where your safety is and where your nervous system feels like it's being impeded on, and take care of yourself, and know that nobody can give you your career anyway. So you have every right to stand up for yourself at any moment within any given circumstance. So stay strong, my friends. This was a nice 8-minute long rant on standing up for yourself as an actor. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And if anybody tries to mess with you and you don't feel confident standing up for yourself, just send them to me.